Hey guys, what's going on? Sorry for the slight delay, but things are about to get underway. And this week, a little change on the PGL. It's no Toby Wan, Natsu. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. You were at Copenhagen Games playing with 3D Max. How'd that go?
Could have gone better. 7 to 8. You're never satisfied unless you win, obviously. But I guess something like along the lines of top 4 would have been satisfactory.
Yeah, but Dignitas had a huge showing, and then LGB was there as well. There were some good teams. Flipside finished in the 4th spot, so
yeah.
You guys were on the laptops too. How'd that go?
It was fine. They were good.
Were they? Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure because you guys were just setting them up for the first time when I walked over and saw you guys just sitting there Thursday night, I think it was. So
yeah.
Well, that's behind us now. In fact, we've got two teams that weren't there this weekend. It's NiP, Fnatic, best of 5 in the last chance qualifier. Of course, winner of this, straight through on to DreamHack Bucharest. Loser has to fall down and await the rest of the bracket. So just if you lose this, you're not out. So let's say, for example, Fnatic win. They're through. NiP then has to wait for VP and Flipside, Na'Vi, and Penta to come up with the winner of those 4. And then they'll have another playoff in 2 nights' time on the 8th. And then the winner of that will get the last spot. So one direct tonight and the other with a consolation game further on in the week. And as we can see, there's your 6 teams. This is a tough call because TSM took down Fnatic. And by the way, just because everyone knows Twitch chat, please give me your energy. If a lot of you were tuned in yesterday, I obviously lost it in the upper bracket final between TSM and VP, and I have yet to find it. You can tweet me if you think you know where my voice is because I've looked everywhere and it hasn't turned up. But this is interesting because we've got Fnatic that didn't get through and everyone thought they would have in their group. It was TSM that beat them online, and of course TSM online is potentially the best team in the world. Kappa Kappa. and NiP didn't go through. It was actually Envious who came all the way through the bottom side of the bracket in Group A. And now we've got a bit of a race for 3 teams that potentially, I mean, all of them could. Na'Vi could do it as well, but VP, I mean, they're the outside shot right now. And it's definitely a toss-up. One of these big teams aren't going to be at LAN.
Yeah, Virtus Pro especially, I think, is very inconsistent online, so you never really know what you're getting. Na'Vi, I think Na'Vi has a big chance of going through. I feel like, especially when they're playing Penta, I think Na'Vi is the favorite side. I think they're just only going to be getting better with Flamey playing for them. When it comes to this match, it's also very hard to call. NiP Fnatic, we just not long ago we had them play Katowice finals, and that was a match that could have gone either way. I felt like NiP really had the first map, Dust 2, in their grasp, but then they got Tech 9'd.
Yeah.
I think it was second to last round. And
Olaf 9.
Yeah.
Here's a look at our roster. Of course, Alu, the only Finnish player, non-Swedish player on NiP. He's been giving some interesting team comms in pregame, but he's also been providing some excellent gameplay. The problem is, and Thorne alluded to this at Star Ladder, is when he's top fragger, the rest of the team seem almost like they're non-existent. So if Alu top frags, it's not often that they actually win. He has to get the team around him. And he's also changed up things from Michael Lele because he was a lot more aggressive. However, with the new patch, this might actually benefit someone like Alu who's a little more defensive.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a very fresh patch. We're still sort of in a learning phase, you know, for a lot of it, especially the opping, how it slowed down, how is it going to affect players, especially fast players like Kenny S or Guardian, for example. You know, it's yet to be seen how it really affects these guys. But the best of them, they will just adapt to the situation.
Yeah, well, that's the big thing. And, of course, the SMG second round, TSM, actually, Kerrigan was the one that utilized it most this weekend at Copenhagen Games, going for that MP7 or MP9, getting the early money back for the kills. And here's their opponent. It's Fnatic. And this is another one that's interesting. Obviously, these guys have had a bit of a break. Weren't at Star Ladder. They obviously weren't at Copenhagen Games. This is a good breather for them because they've got a big week coming up. They go to EPL Cologne this coming weekend. I believe they're at ESEA LAN after that. And then potentially on to DreamHack Bucharest. It's going to be a busy month for all these guys. But they were on a double op setup a lot. And Olaf's already said, screw it, I'm going to stick with the rifle. Now, I don't think he was being serious. It was a bit of a troll tweet. But it's possible. If he can't find his feet with it early, they'll go back to that default with him on a rifle.
It really depends on the map and the spot that you play at. Because there are certain positions that seem to have become more, well, harder to play with the op. So we may see changes from map to map how teams approach the double opping.
Well, and map to map's the big thing, and here's the maps we're going to see. So Overpass, so it was randomized on who had first ban because obviously these were runner-up in each group. There was no way to distinguish a seed, so they randomized who got the first ban. It was NiP. They took out Overpass. They don't like to play it at all. But because there's 5 maps being played tonight, that means there's only one other ban. That means Fnatic takes out Nuke, potentially, I guess, when these two teams face off, would be NiP's best map in this case. NiP goes for Inferno. Fnatic still quite competent on it. Fnatic goes right for Cobble. They've practiced. They're well-versed. In fact, NiP's going to probably be on the back foot on that map.
Yeah.
And then we go to Cash, Mirage, and Dust 2. And, of course, the latter of those two, Mirage and Dust 2, only if needed. And I emphasize that because Inferno needs to go NiP's way to make this series go deep.
Definitely. I feel like Cobblestone, like you said, is going to be Fnatic territory for sure. So Inferno, I think the first map here is going to be very crucial on how the this best of 5 is going to progress because getting rid of Nuke, I think would have made some fantastic Counter-Strike, but I guess Fnatic felt like, okay, it's a risk we shouldn't be taking, especially in the best of 5.
Well, that's the big thing. I mean, it is a best of 5, and the longer the series is, I have to say, the way Fnatic currently has a map pool that's so deep, it favors them. It really does. It has to favor them.
Yeah.
But like we say, if Inferno can go NiP's way, it has been post-Flare and Era their best map. However, most of that success came with Michael. Now they're with Alu. If they can pick up Inferno, then we've got a chance to potentially push this into a 4th, maybe 5th map, and then when we get into that 5th, they still have a chance because we go to Dust 2.
Yeah, especially Inferno, I think their CT side needs to be more fluid because they have been very good on T side, but their CT side has been a bit lackluster, actually.
Yeah, and I would agree. And there's been lots of people that have made that. Obviously, Thorn with his NiP magic always says it's a late T side push that's so strong for NiP, but it comes down to how many CT side rounds they give up. They almost have to play perfect defensively because that's not their better side at all. And now I'm wondering, and again, this is all speculation. We haven't seen enough of the new patch, but if that defensive op for Alu will actually make a difference against teams like Fnatic, who are so aggressive with their early op, will they be able to get those shots off? I think potentially Fnatic would be the most damaged by this because they have 2 oppers that are quite aggressive when they run it.
Yeah, but what I'm mostly looking forward to when you're talking about NIP's CTs, how do they approach Banana? Because it seems like they like to give it up nowadays quite a lot more than before. There's a lot of teams that really like to push Banana and play it really aggressively, smoke all the way down to Banana. That takes a lot of room out of T's and do the strats because you need to spend a lot of nades actually taking control of Banana. So I would really like to see NiP play more aggressively in Banana and really take that map control.
And that's actually an interesting point because it was originally, obviously everyone knows the classic setup, Freiburg get right there, but they've been running it Freiburg Forest.
Yeah.
When things weren't going well for them at Star Ladder, they switched back to the classic look. We'll see which one they're going to run tonight because I know they're trying to get a little more dynamic, change up things just a little bit. How much it works is up for debate. The problem is that even when you go aggressive on an end, I agree with you, TSM utilizes that quite well. In fact, Zipmix, Kerrigan play off each other brilliantly. Dupree usually comes over to start off the round with them.
Yeah.
Fnatic's not scared to flash through that and push it. So that is going to be a huge and heavy contest early on in the round timer. And winning that battle at Banana, regardless of the side you're on, is going to be huge.
Yeah, because Banana really it enables you to do these strats, enables you to do different kind of fake strats, a lot of things if you have Banana control. So I think that's really key on this side of Inferno to have that Banana control.
Well, like we say, we start off on Inferno. There is no side choice advantage where they both were randomized, so we will still knife for sides once the teams are ready. Not as important on Inferno which side you start out on as, let's say, Nuke, which obviously we won't see, but, I mean, it's obviously 9-6. With these two teams, I would actually say I expect 8-7 would be more likely.
Probably. I guess there's 2 ways to it. Some people like to actually have the horror side first. Because you can have the advantage early. Let's say you take the pistol round, you take the first weapon round, you're 4-0 up. That's a huge advantage. So I mean, it really depends on each team's approach, which side you want to start on.
Yeah, and actually, I've had this debate a lot. Obviously, I'm going to get flamed in chat when I bring this up, but just to give a mentality comparison to another game. A lot of teams, we used to start the hard side in Call of Duty because no economy system, so you couldn't get broken in momentum. And then you'd know exactly how much work you had to do when things came over to the easy side. You wouldn't coast as much. You'd actually put the pedal down all the way to the finish line. It's a little different with economy, obviously, in CT. You want to actually build up and get the momentum early, which means starting on the easy side is the way to do it. But NiP's been changing that up. They've actually preferred to start on the CT, or pardon me, on the T side on various maps. Dust 2 being one of them more recently for them, because they like utilizing the AKs early on and trying to get early picks, and then they know how their aim game's going, and they feel like they can get more into a flow with the AKs.
Yeah, and I guess they could dictate the pace of the game better on T side. I guess that's maybe also a factor into it.
Well, we'll get things started. Knife underway. And this map's been interesting for Knives in PGL. We've seen 2 1v5s. If we see 3, not only is my voice done, but I am too. But it's not going to happen. We've already got a kill going out for NiP and for Fnatic. And NiP's actually going to win this, so they will have the choice, and we'll see if they go CT. They should. It would be expected on this map.
Would make sense, right?
But we'll see how they go with it. Yeah, they're going to swap. So they'll go CT to start.
Yeah. They're just going to lock it down.
And now we get to see if they try and get in, or if they win this pistol round, we'll see if they go straight toward the SMGs to build up bank, because like we say, there's a higher kill reward. Obviously, P90, the only one that doesn't give you the full $600, but it's not the one that got the buff. It's the MPs that did.
Yeah.
And likewise, the scout movement speed is utterly insane. We'll see if we see that come out second round, because I could actually see Fnatic being a team to utilize that on a second round force buy. In fact, they tried to go double scout against TSM. That's one of the reasons they lost in the first round, the bracket qualifier, for the first chance to get in Group B, because TSM got a 7-round spread on them because Fnatic fought out super aggressively on their CT side.
I think we both know, or everyone knows, that Fnatic is a team that always likes to push the boundaries when it comes to these kind of things, such as like we saw all of Meister just play a lot of rounds with Tech9s and UMP at the Katowice tournament. So they're the type of team that really like to use the dynamics that the game offers them. And let's see what they have come up with this patch.
Well, we're about to find out exactly that. So NiP starting out. And how is their default going to be? Is it going to be get right classically overripe banana, or is he going to join the party at A? He's been playing the arch side when he goes to A, and in fact, based on spawn rotation, he'll still go to an early B and stack it if they think they're going to get pushed there initially. And looks like he's already joining Freiburg, so we will see more of a classic. Now, it is the pistol. Let's not read too soon, but if that's anything to go by, he'll be there, and he's going to be under threat right away. He's already up on the choke point. Freiburg going to fall back, and he's got to be so careful. Flash goes out, but they're already pushing on to get right. 2 for him. Huge play, and that Flash catches them all. What a start. Already a 4-kill right now for Christopher. And now it's Pronax finally responding into him, but get right. Utterly ridiculous, and he is at home in Banana already. Freiburg closing the round, and NiP 1-0.
There's not much to analyze there, except that was a bunch of headshots going get right's away. Just a nice pop flash. Fnatic tried to do a B rush. A very classic strategy there, but they just got denied by that flash from Freiburg. Really just annihilated them.
Yeah, perfect flash, and already the first 2 were actually around the corner. It looked like they would have had the draw and get right, but he nailed the first 2 headshots. The second were easy. That's exactly the start NiP need, and already exists. We're going to see it. He's going to go right for this MP7 and pardon me, MP9. In fact, Forrest doing the same as his Alu. So NiP going to be the first team to go for a 3 push with this SMG. We've seen 1 or 2 from other teams. As I mentioned, Kerrigan, TSM comes to mind, but now 3 of them. As Crims waits inside Boiler, they want to go for A this time. B already in the back of their minds. Get right on the early rotation. He's on Speedway. Pronax going to go back and try and at least check out Banana, but Freiburg's still waiting as soon as he makes his presence there. And Exist is underneath of the atrium. Forrest back on his default toward pit.
Yeah, a bit of a waiting game going on right now. Fnatic just looking for impatient NiP players, but they're not getting any free kills at this point.
And that's the big thing, because they're not giving any information at all. As Exist will fall back to the site. He's changed his angle. That allows Fnatic to try and come around from the truck side, but already forced with 1. Exist chimes in, and the SMG's just tearing the terrorists apart. As Pronax the last to drop, and all 5 kills go the way of a $600 bonus. That's huge for building the economy, and they can hold them for 1 more round because there's still no bomb plant to come out on the T side.
Yeah, I really liked the patience play by Forrest on balcony there. He just got the first kill and then fell back and just played that angle and waited for Fnatic guy to jump out instead of pushing in, because he would have been in a lot of trouble. So just one of those situations where Force huge experience coming to play.
And now look at NiP, full aggression down middle. SMGs again coming out, 2 kills already. Flusha down, JW as well. Olaf will join them in the grave as Exist picks up that. And they are going full on gas pedal with these SMGs, not scared about the movement speed at all. Alu going to take down Pronax, and this might be the first exploitation of the current patch that we're seeing, and NiP using them to full effect. Finally, we see an M4 come out. That's Get Right, because he had the early kills. Those 4 kills, he went for the early rifle. Okay, now we're going to see it, though. They have to upgrade. They know they're against AKs, and Alu's already on the op.
Yeah, and the first weapon round is about to happen. So that is going to be very important for both teams, obviously. Fnatic, knowing they're on the harder side, they need to start picking up rounds right away. And let's see, we're talking about that banana control. Let's see what happens here and how NiP approaches it. Seems like it's pretty aggressive banana play so far.
Olaf's going to be the first up. Shots already fired over on toward the truck. No damage dealt. Actually, I take that back. Forrest did eat at least a bullet. I think the nade did more damage onto him. He's down to 46, but the default setup right now is still Freiburg. Get Right. Trying to fire away and hold off Flusha.
See, as you can see now, they're smoking down all the way down to banana, so that takes a lot of room out of Fnatic and a lot of time out of the clock as well. So that pressure there is just it's playing time in NiP's favor.
And that's exactly what you wanted to see. By the way, I said we were going to upgrade against the AKs. It was only Alu who did so. He went to the op. The other 2 stayed. Forrest and Exist stayed with these SMGs. That's how confident they are in them right now. And we didn't see any of this at Copenhagen Games. And now I'm starting to wonder, maybe that was people being a little more scared of it since it was a tournament. They had 1 day to prepare. These 2 teams haven't been there.
Yeah.
And NiP's going to say, screw it, we're going to go with it. They're a man down now. Alu gets caught. That's your op to drop, but there's Exist again, and he just walks out, holds the trigger down. Easy kill. Pronax goes back into him, though, catching him in front of Library. And that's big because now Flusha can take over Freiburg at B, and it's opened up. Get Right and Forrest have to retake it, coming the long way on the rotation from A.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough retake, really. 3-on-2, except for the fact that Flusha has 10 HP. If they can get an early kill, make it a 2-on-2, it's going to be possible. But if that doesn't happen, it's going to be a very hard retake.
And that bomb's already down. Flusha's caught out Forrest. He was coming in the backside from Banana, and it's easy work. First gun round goes Fnatic. Now this is important because we mentioned Ninjas in Pajamas needed to give up as few rounds as possible on the CT side. They won the pistol. They've made it easy. But if they start giving up gun rounds, that's even more concerning.
Definitely, but looking at NiP's money still, it was they still have a lot of bank going for them because of the SMG kills. So they're fully equipped for this round. So they don't really they don't mind losing that round when you think about it. Obviously, you don't want to lose rounds, but they can get anything they wanted to.
I mean, this is massive. This is what I believe it was Vendetta said. You're going to see a lot more double round buys, back-to-back buys if you lose the gun round for CTs because of it, because they can build up this economy. So Alu drops early. Olaf getting that kill. That gives Fnatic the room to work with. They've got a mid-smoke, and not a deep smoke on Banana, but a mid-smoke. However, they're still playing it passively as Get Right and Freiburg have fallen into the site. Meanwhile, there's still aggression at A. It's going to be Crims to drop Exist. Forrest immediately finding him, though, on the backside of the boiler doorway. And he's got to be careful because he's exploited. He's entirely open. He isn't holding off on apartments where he normally does. He has to watch both the front side of mid and behind him. But Get Right bails him out. Excellent nade. That catches out JW, brings it back to 3-on-3. And now NiP can slow things down because if that kill didn't come out, Olaf was in a great position to walk out the backside of apartments.
Yeah, so far NiP's problem has been giving out early picks, but they have been able to retaliate on the rounds. Now it's a 2-on-2 to see how this pans out.
So one smoke off from Forrest. He puts that out front truck. That delays Flusha a little bit. Freiburg needs to read as he is in the 2-on-2, and Forrest gets dropped instantly inside the site. This gives the bomb plan out. Olaf, 2 excellent opening kills, the first of which on Alu, the second to give them the site. He'll flash across. And can Freiburg find a way back into it? Flusha's going to hold the backside of mid. And Freiburg trying to use the box to his advantage, get some information, does see over top, does catch Olaf over the hood of the truck. And now they go into this one-on-one. He's going to hold it. He's not even going to bait this out, and Flusha's aware of it. Easy peek. And now we've got 2 rounds going to Fnatic already.
Yeah, and NiP is going to be on a save. Like I said, NiP's problem so far definitely has been the fact they're giving out the first kill. And you know, that's gonna cut it going into further in this half. So I think that's one of the things. They don't want to be in a losing situation right off the bat in the rounds, especially. It's a huge disadvantage on this map because obviously you're gonna the long rotation to B is just gonna be an issue at that point.
And Alu again going to be up close, but it's pistols. JW throws a nade out. That knocks Alu down to 65, so he falls off the corner. But they're trying to stay close proximity. Again, Forrest is up close this time as well, falling off pit, trying to keep tighter onto that corner, that angle when Fnatic wants to come around. Flush as your lurk. He's back down toward Banana, watching if Freiburg wants to come out and try and get aggressive, maybe get behind them. So there won't be that opportunity for NiP either.
Yeah, Fnatic just really taking their time to just taking it easy, trying to clean all the spots before committing anywhere, making sure they're not running into any huge stacks.
And in fact, Fnatic's taken the invitation to go back toward B because they haven't found opening kills. They know they're going to be on pistols, but they haven't found opening kills on A. And they don't want to take the chance of losing these AKs over to the CT side.
Yeah, the patience is really there. So, 30 seconds left on this round. But they're making the...
Look at the smokes, too.
Yeah.
3 smokes already out. This will sell them. Exist is gone. Alu's heading over as well, but they're back in A. It's going to be Get Right and Forrest coming under threat. Flush is trying to find an entry, but with these smokes down, it doesn't even matter. He just has to make noise. He'll hold all of the NiP players there. Forrest and Get Right have done the job, though. There's your A players down, so it might have been a fake, but NiP now has the man advantage. 2-man advantage, excuse me. As the post-plant situation does give Fnatic a little bit of time. Olaf's inside the pit, but Get Right's going to come above him from the apartments already, and Pronax is trapped inside the site. He does use 1 smoke to hold out Alu, but Exist and Freiburg coming from the truck side. Pronax and Olaf, though, even it back up. Pronax with 2, and he's going to get more than that. All 3 of them drop. Those smokes, front library, completely hold NiP out, and he just completely guesses correctly on all the angles they're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can make it look as easy as that, and that was just great play by Olafmeister and Pronax especially, picking up those kills. But when you're getting the angles right, the timing's right, you're going to mop him up, even at 2 and 4.
No, that was excellent. So now it's 3 gun rounds. We talked about this. This is 3 gun rounds in a row. Of course, that time NiP tried to come back into the site unsuccessfully. It looked like they might have had a chance, but Fnatic's rolling now. They've got this momentum, and already they've got Alu down. Exist did get the opening kill, but this opens up a man at A, and Forrest has to guess correctly. He does find Olaf. This is big because, again, he would have been in that awkward position where he had to force Boiler, and a man might have potentially come out behind him. Crims is going to try and do the same, but Forrest is falling back. He's reading this brilliantly, and he's going to be passive on it.
Yeah, it seems like Fnatic was just looking for the trade kills, really, because you saw Exist got the first kill, and then you saw the other second kill go to Fnatic, and then NiP got a kill, and Olafmeister was trying to equalize it. There was no real strategy going on there. They were just trying to get trade kills.
And look at this. Get Right. Brilliant read. Crims just waiting in apartment for Flusha to find an opening, and Get Right comes around to check it because he's trying to find out exactly where Fnatic is by getting the information, and he finds, or pardon me, Exist finds Flusha that time as well. But Get Right, that kill was crucial because it gave away all the options. It took away everything from Fnatic, and now they're back onto the board and still in the lead.
Yeah, Fnatic's money situation seems like they're going to be saving this one. But yeah, that round there, there was no real strategy going on whatsoever. It seemed like it was just all about just trying to get those trade kills, and NiP, they were able to capitalize on those.
Well, that's the big thing. Capitalizing on the man advantage when you have it. Again, Fnatic putting pressure toward A. It's very passive at B. We talked about that deep smoke, but they're using a mid smoke. Halfway down the arches, not really pushing forward onto it, and JW's been a little bit scared to try and peek it like he normally does. This round, of course, he's only got a pistol to work with. No op yet for JW. But now they're gathering in that direction. We'll see if Freiburg and Get Right can try and hold this. They're going to fall off it. They want to work it back over toward A. Alu Exists, both stacked up arch side. Forrest alone again, all the way deep. Back by Pit. He's going to actually play it from a graveyard position. This smoke holds them off. They're waiting. They want to flash this out. Olaf inside Boiler, and the question is, do they try and smoke off onto the Arch and Wrap, or do they go immediately onto both sides? And they won't go anywhere because NiP is going to shut them down. Alu and Exist, great trades, and they're not done there. Exist going to switch to the USP. Easy kill Olaf down, and it's a 2-round lead now for NiP.
Yeah, for NiP's sake, they really need to string together rounds here on CT side to keep their bank going. And at the same time, Fnatic is going to be, seems like they're going to be buying. They get an AWP for JW. That's the first AWP we're going to see on this half. See how they're going to utilize that. Flusha is going to just opt for a Tech-9 so he can get all the nades he needs. So they're pretty well equipped, even though it seemed like it could be a broken buy from Fnatic. But it seems like they're probably going to be happy with this.
Well, happy it will be JW at least, because now he's got a chance to try and go aggressive, but we'll also see how much effect this movement speed nerf's going to have on him finally. If he can get a pick, he hasn't looked toward Banana where he normally looks early in the round. He's sitting up in the underpass just with his head poked up, trying to look up toward top mid and support Olaf. But no one from NiP peeking. Now we've got an aggressive B play as well. Look how deep Get Right is. And he's going to be in the corner. Do they check it? They do. They flash it. In fact, Crims wasn't expecting him to be there. He only saw him because he was dodging his own flash. So a little bit of a luck works that time for Crims.
Yeah, but really nice push.
Kill.
Yeah, nice push from Fnatic though. That's the way you take over Banana when someone's playing it aggressively. And we're seeing that huge clash in there that we were speaking about before this match started.
No, exactly. So that gives them the opening kill, and that was the first good setup we saw in terms of depth in Banana. It looked like Get Right would come out with it, but Fnatic's so wise on how to flash through that smoke. They caught Zipnix a number of times against TSM, and it works again here. Crims drops now. Olaf tries to come around, find a way into A. They've switched it back over, and it's Exist that's holding. He's got one, he finds two, both with the M4, but then gets dropped, but he at least brings his team back into this because now it's onto a 2-on-2. Make it a 2-on-1 as Freiburg, excellent shot on Flusha. And Olaf's got to fall back, only 26 HP. They're going to smoke him off. I imagine they're going to try and hold this and bait him out. The question is, which one goes for the stick? They both got decent HP. Alu gets the kill regardless. They peek it together, and they'll pick up this op. And NiP now with 6.
Yeah, it seemed very grim for NiP actually, with how the trades were going. But Exist here, as we can see in this replay, was massive for NiP. Unless he got those 2 kills, there was no way NiP was winning that round. Like, no way. So, just Exist. Flawless work there, getting 2 kills in a crucial pressure situation.
So now we've got strings of 3. It started off with the pistol, 2 rounds going the way of NiP. 3 came right back the way of Fnatic, and now it's 3 more again to the Ninjas. And Alu's going to go back to the op.
Yeah, 6-3. I think both teams are pretty happy about the start of this match. Let's see if Fnatic now, they're a bit of a force buy. Tech-9s and armors, as we've very commonly seen from them.
And 4 smokes. They're setting up Banana. Again, it's a mid-smoke on Banana from Get Right. Initially from Freiburg. But they play it more passively this time. Get Right's going to get at the car. He's going to spot them up. Exist is already quick on the rotate. He's already there. So even though Get Right goes down, they might think this is an invitation to the site. They're wrong. They're mistaken. The leader for NiP is already there, and he's rounded the corner, but that flash catches him. He falls deep into the site, luckily gets away. As Pronax wants to do more damage, these Tech-9s getting so close, and they've also recovered that M4 from Get Right. And that's why they stayed passive, because they knew it had to be an eco. They know how to do math. Better than I do, even. It's not saying much, but that's why they didn't want to let the guns go too far deep into Banana and give them those weapons to work with. Is Freiburg now going to catch out Pronax? This is his site. You can't get into B, and it's 3 for him. Olaf, the last of which to drop. And it's a 4-round spread. NiP now are controlling things. And Fnatic, although they've got those 3 gun rounds, they've only got those 3 gun rounds. And then it's 5. 5 would be a start. 6. And again, these 2 teams, 6-7 is where we thought they'd end up on a T side.
Probably. In that round, Get Right's positioning behind the car, how he dodged that pop flash from Fnatic was very, very, very key. Because, you know, had he been totally blind there, there's no way he could have gotten those 2 kills, and it would have spelled a lot of trouble for Freiburg with the Tech-9 army running into B. Now we see Alu actually getting that first kill. I think that's the first time in all of this CT half, and I think that's going to be key going further as well on their CT. Alu dictating the play with the op. Seems like he just wants to push it again. Seems like NiP's just like pushing left and right on Fnatic right now.
Yeah, definitely. And they're getting all the map awareness. This is typically how we see Fnatic play their CT side. They're the ones that are normally aggressive and funnel your offense. We've seen absolutely no fear from NiP, and hopefully this is a sign of things to come for them. Flusha calls back, though. Get right answers, and unfortunately it's a bullet through the other end of the line, and it takes him down quite easily. That brings us at least one closer in terms of Fnatic evening up the round, but they're split up. Flusha's trying to get the information over toward B. Alu is down to 39, has that op though, holding that angle. If Flusha even walks through, it's going to be a hard time for him, and that flash pushes him back again further. The fire to come out on top of it. Pronax, meanwhile, though, does have the bomb and is lurking up inside the apartments over on A. Forrest still waiting. That's a very tough angle to try and solo enter onto his site, and Forrest is already on the statue. Easy kill. Freiburg finds Flusha as well.
Yeah, NiP just picked Fnatic apart before Fnatic really got into doing anything. And I think NiP is really good at that when they really get their flow going. They are a team that really utilizes those first picks efficiently, and here, this was a prime example of that. Fnatic really had nothing going on for them in that round. 8-3 at this point. NiP is on a hot streak, and I think their economy is in a very good set at this point too.
Well, that's the big thing. I mean, they've built it up now to the point where after this buy, Exist still has $8,300, $78 for Alu.
Yeah, a big, huge bank for them right now. So that's going to be a lot of trouble, considering you can just rebuy whatever you want at that point, even if you die in a round.
So Get Right falls off. The smoke does hold Crims, Pronac, and Flusha in place in that banana. JW and Olaf still trying to keep the A players at bay, not to let Exist get too happy on his feet and run toward the B site.
Now you can see Fnatic getting that banana control, and they're utilizing it.
Well, they have to. They've got to make a play here. They've got to find a way to get an early kill. They haven't even had the early pick in quite some time. It's been all NiP early in the rounds, and that means it just translates over when the time gets closer. The rush comes in. They're already disadvantaged on the terrorist side. Freiburg Get Right set up this crossfire. Late smoke out. That means Flusha's going to sit back again. He'll be the one trying to make the play and get the information. Does Tits Get Right there? Nice shot as he tops him on spools. Now it's going to be JW falls back to join him with this bomb. Exist still hasn't rotated though, because Crims and Olaf are making noise. Pronax goes back. They'll have 3 in banana. It's all going to be Freiburg to hold this. King of banana is not even in it. He's back on the backside of A, and Forrest and Alu have already taken down your rotators. It's process of elimination. They have to know what's coming to be now, and already Freiburg's dropped. They'll have a chance for a plant.
Yeah, just a very nice play from Fnatic. It was like a double fake in a sense, because of Flusha getting that pick in B. It was also huge. That made NiP doubt what Fnatic is doing. Fnatic then faking A and actually hitting B. And Freiburg was already out of position and got caught out on B.
So Flusha holds off Emo. Pronax goes in behind Quad. JW's going to be on top banana, and Flusha finds the first. Pronax as well. Alu finally with the op gets it down to a 1-on-2. But that time is ticking, and so fast indeed, he can't even hit the next shot. JW does damage to him with this AK, but he's got to run. Flusha closes the kill, but his time going to expire. Is this bomb going to go off? JW's far enough away. He'll keep the AK, and now it's 4 rounds to Fnatic.
Yeah, it's something that was like a typical Navi type of play, where you're running out the clock all the way down the last 10 seconds, and you're doing a bit of a double fake, thanks to Flusha getting that kill on B. It worked out great. I think that's going to probably affect Freiburg's way of rotating going further in this half. Now that he's being called out like that in a fake situation very late in the round, watch him. He's probably not going to be rotating until the bomb is 100% spotted.
Well, that's the thing. They've got the bomb drop this time. We will see an op out again for Alu. And again, that mid-smoke. They aren't going deep. That one round they went deep. Get Right got caught, and I think they've been discouraged from it, because Fnatic, again, is probably the best team at flashing through that deep smoke on banana. They're very good at taking back that position, so Get Right doesn't even want to take that fight. They've just been trying to delay them with nades.
Yeah, I think I think they should play banana more aggressively, not get discouraged by a single situation where they just got outplayed. Doesn't mean that's going to happen every single time.
Flusha does catch Get Right. Freiburg at least trades it out, but he's alone now on B. He's hiding in behind first. Orange is going to pop it out. Nice aggressive flash by him, using it to his own advantage. No one teammate to throw it. He does it all himself, and he gets the first kill. Unfortunately, JW waits him and comes back in with the AK, so now B is open. Bomb's going to join in. That's Olaf to carry it. He'll smoke off the backside of construction as well, so easy plant going to come out. It's going to have to be a solid retake from NiP. Forest isn't anywhere to be near. Exist is just getting there. Alu's inside construction. Forest not even left the A site yet.
I don't think they saw the bomb, and that's because of what happened last round. He's really late with the rotation and a 3-on-3 situation. Retake on B. They still do have one more Molotov. That could be fundamental here.
Olaf's going to catch out Exist. There's your first kill and the post plant. Olaf, and make it 2, catches Forest as well, and JW's going to catch Alu as he tries to retreat because he wants that op to hold on to. He won't. They'll pick it up. In fact, JW's going to grab it. So Fnatic now have the 5 rounds. Anything more is just going to make their life easier when we swap it over.
Yeah, let's see what the money situation for NiP is like at this point.
It's not great. In fact, they'll force what they can on these pistols. They'll go for 5.7s, a Deagle and a CZ75, but it's only into the $2,000 otherwise.
Yeah.
So they have to save one.
So Fnatic is really looking like it could be potentially that 8-7 we were talking about. Free match.
Flusha's going to catch out Freiburg. So Banana loses a man early again, and the last couple of rounds things have changed because I mentioned that NiP was getting all the early kills. Now it's Fnatic that's finding them. Forrester will at least even it up, but defense already spread thin and even thinner as Olaf drops Forest inside Boiler. Keep in mind, he's super efficient back toward pit, so this means Exist has to compensate for that. He's already falling back toward truck side. In fact, he looks like he wants to get right up on top of the balcony. Yeah. Hold that doorway close with the pistol.
When you're playing on eco, it's mostly about gambling on one of the site, which you were just sort of guessing on which side they're going to be attacking to. So at this point, they're just going to try to stack a certain choke point and hope for the best, pretty much.
And Get Right's going to get in behind the sandbags on Banana, so at least it's an off angle. He hasn't played yet, but they aren't looking that direction at all. They want to use these AKs and the one AWP and JW onto the A site, and it's a passive setup there. Again, they've got to use proximity to their advantage. They need to get these pistols up close to do the damage. 5.7, CZ75, both capable of the one punch, but you got to be in arm's length, and that's the issue. They will let them go into the site. There's your first shot out. Alu does get one. Exist at least finds one more, but they trade them both off, and now the site's open. Get Right's coming around. It is Get Right. Let's not forget, and there's your first 5.7 to get the kill. Still a lot of ammo left in that magazine, but JW finds him. He pops it out post-plant and takes him down, and now we've got 6.
Yeah, NiP, they had the right gamble. They had that choke point covered and made it into a 1-on-2 situation for Get Right, who made it into a 1-on-1 situation. So it is all about guessing, really, on what's going to happen from Tees in those situations.
And it was a quick rotation as well from Get Right to get back over there.
Yep.
Those 2 trades made it possible, and regardless, it's a solid eco because they do good damage too.
Yep.
Fnatic, but it doesn't matter. We're in the last round. They can still buy, and they've already given up 6, so playing for the win was the ideal there. That was the goal. Freiburg's going to hold on Banana this time. Get Right, even more passive. In fact, he waits from spawn to throw out the secondary smoke. There it is. We see it come down over the roof. That'll give Freiburg a little more room and also allow Get Right to help support A.
Yeah, they're having 4 on A super early here, giving a lot of pressure on Freiburg. Forrest here, he's one of the world's best players in that position, if not the best. He's just crazy around that car area on Inferno CT.
Flusha gets a little bit of damage onto him. Freiburg spams through that smoke. In fact, doesn't even take any bullets in exchange. So that's an early win with Olaf already down and Flusha weak for NiP. Get Right's also rejoined B because there wasn't any presence over at A, but now he's got to be careful because that's exactly where they're heading. So they've got to make the call on whether Freiburg's going to be the one to go. Or if Get Right will push down Banana. Alu this time, the one on balcony. Doesn't have the op. He's got the M4. Forrest going to be inside Graveyard. Flash is coming out onto him, and Graveyard's a good spot for the initial shot, but once you're spotted, you can get trapped in there so quickly. Exist goes for this pop flash. Will catch them out. They are on the arch side, but they're already too far. Crim's not fully blind, and oh, they're going to catch Alu as well, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Graveyard, such a great spot. Crim's not going to check it. He walks in. Oh, but he does. He sees him behind him because Forrest took a shot. And that's unfortunate because Forrest could have easily had a double there, but One shot too soon, and that means Crims goes back. Now they've got this bomb down. They at least catch off Flusha immediately after. That puts us into a one-on-one as Crims goes back into Freiburg, and it's Get Right that's left, and it's Get Right that gets the kill. Mr. Clutch late in the round, and he'll go for this defuse. No kit, lots of time. We're going to have a 9-6 half.
Yeah, I think Crims, he got 4 kills on that round. He was looking to ace it.
He was, yeah, he did. He did have 4 kills. You're dead right. In fact, and that shot at Graveyard onto Forrest really turned the round, and that was good awareness to know that he heard a shot immediately behind him. Yeah. Turns around, bullet into him. So 9-6. We thought 8-7 would be possible between these two teams. There's still a chance for NiP in that regard.
Oh, there is definitely. Like we called it out before. Their T side has been strong. And CT side has been where they've been struggling. So I think they're probably going to be okay with the 9 rounds on CT.
And the interesting thing we saw was the second round buy of 3 MP9s. Yep. Used them well, got a ton of economy. That let them, after the first gun round on the CT side, to still buy up. However, they lost those 2 gun rounds, so it didn't really make a difference. If they had got it to 4-1, then we could have said those SMGs won them that 5th round, but they still lost out on that one. And it was all gun rounds that Fnatic got, so they did it the hard way. NiP hopefully can make it easier for themselves if they get this pistol and start off the half correct.
That's always what That's always what you want to get, obviously. And we're not gonna go into cliches and say that the pistol round is what they're looking at, but that's the way it is. Let's go. NiP looking like they're gonna be going on banana as well. Let's see what kind of strat they're pulling. Get Right is gonna be Molotov in the sight. Straight up push.
It is a push indeed. Strong push as well. Nips in. 2 kills going their way and smokes off on CT. Flusha, no entry. Forrest already out inside construction. Knows exactly where he's coming from. And JW and Pronax, as we can see in the distance on the X-ray, just coming around from Speedway now. So Nips bought themselves a lot of time on this plant because it's already been ticking. And Forrest gets a good shot on Flusha. They're all coming that way as well. They will get him back, but Exist is there. He'll catch one, and look, he's going to go for the knife. Not going to happen. Pronax not going to allow it, so no extra money, but the round does go to NiP.
Yeah, it was just all about the timings of how NiP pushed in that B. That push through the smoke was the right call at the right point, and they got those entries, both of those entries, and that was pretty much it. It's a really hard retake to be on 3-on-5, retaking Inferno B side, especially when you're going through ruins and there's a crossfire like that. It's close to impossible. And yeah, NiP, I think they just won both pistol rounds, if I'm not mistaken, in this match.
They did. Yeah, and you win both pistols, you should.
Statistically,
should win the match. Although we saw TSM win all 6 pistols in the upper bracket final against VP, but with 3 ecos, VP took the series. So that's not always the case in CSGO.
Yeah.
And again, Get Right, MP7, Alu, Mac 10, Forest MP7, Freiburg MP7. They're really going ham on these SMGs, although Alu's already been dropped.
Yeah, the tagging and the accuracy has been increased, so and they get a lot of money for the kills, so it makes sense. It makes sense for them to use them.
Well, that's $600 for Get Right. Exist will only get the kill with the AK. Sounds like I'm talking down an AK. Who would have thought that in Counter-Strike? But Forrest gets one more, another MP7 kill, and they've got B wide open. They wrap through the arch. JW and Olaf all the way over on the B side. He'll sit it out in pit, and then they're not even going to go for this. They just want to hold on to the head armor that they have as well as these pistols.
Yeah, let's see how things progress in the future if this is the way it's going to be. But it could actually make it easier for the second round buy. I mean, for when you win the pistol round and then you buy on the second round, you buy those SMGs, you can move around a lot more. Is that going to make a difference when you're playing against the force buys of CZs and 5.7s and such? So let's see how is this going to be changing the meta of the game and the dynamics going further when people really learn the perks of the changes.
Well, that's the big thing. And again, we saw it at Copenhagen Games was the first time the patch was used, but that's a LAN. Everyone wants to perform. How many chances are teams really going to take? Because that's a busy schedule. Yeah, it was GSL style, but there was a lot of Counter-Strike to be played, and no one really wanted to give themselves more games than they needed to. So
yeah, for sure. When you're down in a low bracket in that tournament, it's brutal. There's no breaks.
Yeah, I was actually impressed at how much teams had to grind it out.
But a good
that
start
might
for
have been
NiP.
the most Canadian I've ever said out. I actually noticed it myself that time.
But yeah, a great start for NiP here. 2-0. Fnatic on the save.
And look at Alu. The mini-op. He doesn't even need his big gun. He just runs up mid. Pronax drops to him.
It's a Mac 10 going forward.
they're going to try and go deeper as well. JW at least responds. That's one to drop. Olaf, look at him though. He's already down all the way into alt middle. So they funnel off the offense. They know they're in banana, but it doesn't matter. They're already in the site. And that means Olaf will at least be quick on the rotation, but the plant's going to go down. JW's coming in from Speedway. If NiP were slow, that play might have worked for Olaf, but unfortunately they were extremely quick getting inside the site, and it means he could get no information. He'll wait on the backside of this smoke. Try and get a few exits.
Yeah, that's the best he can hope for at this point. He's going to armor 5-7. He would be. He's the best off. He's essentially saving those equipment he has right now.
And there it is. They'll get him. Forrest with the kill. And now we're in a double situation. 12-6. And NiP in control, but guns will come out. And now it's the test because, like we say, it is still CT-sided map, but both these teams very, very potent on their T side.
Definitely. And from Fnatic point of view, this is now the situation where they really need to start grinding on their CT because they're obviously 12-6 down. And they really might want to make a statement here that NiP, you're going to have a lot of hard time breaking our defense. Let's see. It seems like a bit of a fight in banana is already happening.
And Olaf's up close. This smoke gives him a chance, but that flash was well timed. They don't spot him. Regardless, Freiburg does get one just before he gets traded, and now they know that Olaf's up close, and Exist comes through, answers that. He's already dropped them. But there's still a man up on the NiP side as a result of that because they couldn't find the trade on Exist. Pronax had already gone passive. Flush is going to have to fall out early from the A side.
A lot of patience for both teams. No rotation from Fnatic after the smoke went down. On B.
Smoke deep on spools as well as CT. So Flusha, even if you were to be closer, wouldn't have the angle, wouldn't have the information. Pronax almost does it himself. Forrest does get the trade. Good secondary entry from him. And Get Right's going to catch JW trying to come in from the backside of Banana down from middle. And that means the bomb goes down. Another plant for NiP. Another round looking to go their way because Flusha's got no answer. Forrest with the kill, and it's only 3 rounds left now for the Ninjas.
Yeah, those flashes on Banana really, if played in favor of NiP, it could have gone either way. First the trade kill that happened, but then NiP got the second kill, and Fnatic still got the third guy in B. Didn't really. Pronax wasn't able to. I think he would have had to at least get those 2 kills to be helpful for Fnatic to get the round. Unable to do so. NiP utilizing that opportunity.
And we already got a trade in this round because Freiburg has one, but the pistol of Pronax catches him right back. So good trade for Fnatic because even though this does favor the defense to spread out, they got the damage done on the Eco, but they were stacking over on B, and that means A's open. So NiP need to get this bomb plant down. Forrest is going to do so just now. Only one smoke out so far from NiP in a defensive position. In fact, that's all they had. They'll use their second one late. That's going to go front library. And it looks like Pronax and Flusha have already left. They don't want to stick around. They don't think they can go for this. JW thinks he might, though. Forrest drops. They're still pursuing. And the reason Pronax left is at least he secured this AK, but they're going to go for the exits on the rest of them. They'll be able to buy next round regardless. After this detonation and with the money bonus.
Plus, they're going to be 6-14 down, so they really need to buy as well.
And actually, with Pronax, okay, Crims drops in the end. With Pronax on an AK coming out, yeah, he's already going to be able to drop. Oh, wow, that's huge, though. Flusha goes down as well because I was going to say Pronax could easily drop the op right now over toward JW, and that's what he does. So they do it regardless, but that could have been a lot more efficient if Flusha hadn't gone down. And in fact, Olaf's still on a pistol. He does buy late M4. He could have gone op as well.
Yeah, NiP really on the driver's seat right now. They're just capitalizing all the trade kills they're getting. They're playing very straight up, simple Counter-Strike, but you know that's NiP style. It's always been that NiP style, and it's working out right now for them.
Flusha will catch Exist. Flusha makes it 2. That's Alu as well. Great start. Finally, Fnatic can do a round early on their CT side. They've yet to win one, and JW is going to contribute further. Add it more. Flusha up to 3. Good switch off. As soon as JW got the first pick, he comes back out, supports him. Get Right finally answers. As Flusha will go down, and he's just going to throw out every nade he's got to try and buy himself some more room. Takes a little bit of fall damage on the way out the backside of Boiler, and it's a 1v4. Olaf's already in the underpass to catch him falling away, and now we've got 7 for Fnatic.
That's true.
So much money for NiP.
Yeah, that straight up play didn't work whatsoever. Flusha just destroyed them in mid, and that was pretty much it for that round. And yeah, the thing with NiP and Fnatic is that neither of these teams are like super like strategy teams. They're both really teams with a lot of skill and a lot of individual play and a lot of methodical plays that dictate how the plays go. And I think it really provides us with a lot of nice looking Counter-Strike and great individual plays, and yeah, it's just been fun to watch so far.
Fnatic are even throwing their smokes higher in Banana than NiP did. Finally now we'll get a mid smoke out, but the first one was on the front of the car. Olaf's the man that's there. Crims, remember, probably one of the most efficient. Between him and Freiberg, we probably have the two best B players on Inferno in this server right now.
Possibly, yeah. NiP getting that trade, that early entry, that's gonna be a huge advantage, and let's see what they like to do with it. At this point in time, it seems like it's probably gonna be a B play, but Fnatic with 2 players on B are ready for that.
And that's the big thing. They haven't sold this rotation at all. And that's one of the things with Fnatic. It's hard to sell a rotation. They have so much confidence in their individual skill that they have trust in the 2 players in A to hold it alone.
Yeah, definitely.
So they don't need to over-rotate. They don't need to overcompensate. But meanwhile, Get Right's already found Pronax, so maybe the 2 players aren't enough. Maybe they misread because Get Right's more than capable. Flusha at least answers back into him, but that gives the information that he's not over toward the A site. He's on the back of it. And they're going to get this plant. Fnatic already realizing that the damage has been dealt. The money is gone. They've got to run away and hold on to these guns. And Pronax does have 67 in the grave. He'll be able to force out. Probably drop for JW's on 1550. So they'll be able to buy again next round just because they held on to these weapons.
That was a good example of the greatness of individual play from NiP's players. Get Right done, getting that pick onto A was fundamental. Here we see him here getting that early kill as well. He is one of those few players in the world that really know the timing so super well and really utilize them to his advantage more often than not. And that basically won them the round. Get Right single-handedly getting the entry and getting that huge entry on A side, while his teammates were actually initially going for a B push.
And now it's map point. Remember map point because best of 5, and we did say NiP needed Inferno to make this possible because we go to Cobble next, and Fnatic put a lot of work on Cobble right before Katowice, and nobody's really answered them on it just yet. In fact, TSM tried to in a match. They left it in the map pool. In fact, it was in the upper qualifier, the first group for this. JW, there's your aggressive op. Never mind the movement speed. He's still going to use that spot in apartments. He is so good from there. And Get Right gets caught off entirely.
Yeah, it does not affect the movement when you're not scoped up. So what is going to change for these operas is how often they're going to be scoped up and how often not.
Gap in the smoke. Freiberg tries to use it. Crim's already looking at it. They'll flash themselves back through. JW spams, and actually it's the fire that does the damage. Freiberg gets fried. He's going to drop inside the site, and JW again, aggressive op up close. Add another one to the other op on Olaf, excuse me. And that's going to give the round back to Fnatic, and money getting damaged now for NiP. They've still got a lot of money to work with in this round, but as I mentioned, it's getting more and more fragile.
Yeah, and they are still going to buy up. We've got a pretty nice buy. They got pretty much all the tools they need for a good execute. So let's see how NiP adjusts to the fact that Fnatic is now pushing a double op setup.
Grims fires away on Alu. Gets the first kill, and that's the first time we've seen them go hard, aggressive. Banana and JW. Hybrid op at best. Already back over at B. Aggressive A last time. Passive aggressive B this time. Both times getting kills, and this is when things get a little bit scary. Yes, it only is one more round for NiP, but if Fnatic get momentum going and start to get these formations working for them, they're a tough shell to crack.
Where was this type of play before, earlier on this half? They should have started this earlier. Now they're in a very tricky situation here.
Waiting for the team flash. Crims goes for it. JW with his back tries to come around the corner, but they're already too close. That op can't hit the shot on Exist. Although he'll drop immediately after. It's Crims and B. We said it. Mr. Efficient. He sits back at Oranges 2. They spam at Oranges 1. Get Right. Saves some ammo. and gets the secondary shot, so he will go down in the end. Flusha spams through. They smoke to hold him out, but he doesn't care. He's going to push through it. Man mode from Flusha, and it's going to work. He's going to catch off. Get right. Hasn't found the kill just yet. Switches to the pistol. Now he drops. The bomb goes down, but they're already on top of Forest, and Flusha's going to catch him. Flusha's the last player, and the defuse as well. Actually, Pronak's just going to wait because I think they're going to go op hunting right now, or at least pick up what guns. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, they're just going to probably throw it next to Pronax just defusing so they can get both the ops back if they want to play with those. Nope, they're opting to just go one. It seems like. I was going to say JW almost cost them there with the confidence and not hitting that shot in Banana, but then back and forth. Fnatic coming out on top, and NiP here on a save. Fnatic, are they on a comeback train here?
Well, that's the thing.
That's possible.
Because, again, we mentioned momentum, and when they get rolling and get their confidence, they're the most scary team of anyone.
Yeah, and if there's, I think, Inferno CT side, it's very possible to get 6 in a row, for sure.
Of course, we mentioned, too, the economy was weak, so it's pistols now for NiP. And they're going to rush it in toward A. Forrest already going to take the damage from the nade. JW gets that kill. Get right responding, though. So they've got one opening, and Flush is forced back. Exist needs to come around, try and catch him before he gets to the corner, but he won't do it. And Crims has already arrived, so Get Right drops. And Pronax and Flusha each pick up a kill. They'll do it with ease and style from then on. The opening that might have been was not capitalized, and now we're double digits both sides. Again, just ease it over the finish line for NiP, but Fnatic definitely not going to make it easy, and they'll go back to this double op again.
Yeah, and Fnatic really just pushing and sticking it to NiP. At this point on their CT side Inferno, they're playing a lot more aggressive here. Now further on in the half, and it seems to be causing a lot of struggle for NiP. Let's see how NiP adjusts their playing style now. Are they going to just play really slowly and passively and just not the really important thing, obviously, is not going to get the entry kill and take some map control slowly. Let's see how the approach is. Seems like Freiburg is going to be working Banana alone so far.
That nade might catch him. No, he just gets away, so Exist survives. Flusha falls back in underneath the atrium. Freiburg comes back down, Banana to help, so they won't have anyone over on the B side. Crims and JW have a little bit of breathing room and an option to rotate, and JW is going to take it. He heads towards CT spawn. Get Right's already in, though. That's Pronax to drop. He's got to be quick. There's only 2 left there. Olaf with the op, though, does catch Freiburg through the edge of that smoke, and it's not done there. He's also going to take down Forest, and NiP, this might have been their best chance to get in the sight. It's all left on to Get Right and Exist. Bomb drop down inside pit, but they're getting kills. Get Right has one. Exist finds the other, and it's into a 2-on-2. The problem is, they don't have anything to work across the site with, only that one smoke, and Get Right's already dropped, and Exist in a very predictable position, still hasn't worked forward to get this bomb. He's going to try and do so right now. Does pick it up, but they're going to split on him. They're going to cover from both sides. Exist needs to move now. He needs to get across, and he's not going to do it in time, or is he? He's just moved forward. He's out of sight from the second player, but Flush is going to get the kill regardless. And that was NiP's best chance in the last, I would say, 5 rounds, or close to it at least.
Yeah, it's more likely than not when you're getting
4 rounds, I should say.
Yeah, when you're getting those situations, if they can continue getting in these type of situations, it's more likely than not they're gonna get that 16th round. And but yeah, NiP just they are running into a lot of trouble. But Fnatic seems like they're warming up. It seems like they were a bit, I don't know, rusty from not having played competitive matches for a while. Fnatic really rolling here later on in CT.
That's the thing. They were slow to wake up against TSM, and that's arguably what threw away the series. Olaf gets 2. That shuts down this B push that was coming out from NiP. Of course, they are on the pistols again. The fire's going to slow down the last player. That's Exist. He's on 45, and that AK is going to get him. So it's getting tight now. Fnatic are really pushing this out.
Yeah.
Giving this a close match. NiP struggling to get this last round, and I don't know what the opening is. They thought they had A that round. And Fnatic turned it around.
Yeah, but then it just comes down to those individual plays, those after strategy situations where it's all down to getting those trade kills, and Fnatic really pulling through. All of Meiser, 2 huge kills in top of med, for example. Those type of things happened, and yeah, it's really hard when that happens for Paris.
So Olaf catches Exist early on. This time the nade goes back. Alu does the damage, so even trade. This does favor the T side a little bit because They have to spit up the defense, although Pronax is actually falling off B because it wasn't really stacked, so they're going to have 3 a day regardless. And with Flusha getting that kill, it does give the advantage back the way of Fnatic.
It's just constantly trade kills going back and forth this match so far. Whenever one team gets a kill, it seems like the other team is going to retaliate.
And the big thing that happened late after that trade was Crims put a deep smoke that Alu didn't want to push through, which let Flusha go over to A and initially join them because they knew the offense had to be just in middle. They were closer to A than B. If Crims went down, Flusha would have had a quick rotation back. But now they don't have that smoke screen, and Alu's going to lurk that direction. "35 seconds left on the clock. It's one round. Close out map 1 and an extremely important map for NiP. Because I have a feeling this series will only go the distance if this map gets picked up. I was about to say by the Swedes, but that's a redundant statement. They're both Swedish. Alu in. Flusha tries to wait for a team flash. Krim's going to catch out Freiburg, so Alu's in a world of hurt. He's trapped in the site. Turn around. Flusha's right behind you, sir. And you don't spot him at all, so now it's just going to be Flusha to catch out Get Right as well. And this is getting extremely tense on NiP's side. Is Kerrigan whispering in their ear? That's the question.
Well, let's see how NiP approaches. They are going to force it up there. I think their buy is not that broken. They're getting most of the nades they'll need on a map like Inferno. If they did, everyone except Alu has some nades going for them. So, first kill. Ooh, JW almost going down. Survives with 1 health.
And the big thing is that Ninjas have forced out this round. If they do have a money bonus going for them, they might be able to get out Galil's next round, but they're playing for the win right now.
They are.
Because overtime's already secured. There's no reason to let this round slip away and play it late. They'll take every advantage they can get. JW's down to 1 HP as well, so he still has the op. He's still a threat because it's only 1 shot and 1 good angle that he needs, but it won't be hard to trade him out. That's the good news for NiP. Crims again gets a little bit aggressive in Banana. Deep smoke as well. This funnels off the offense, so Olaf's already joined up A. And NiP has yet to find an entry kill in the last number of rounds. Again, the first kill's been consistent. Usually whoever gets it in this match has been the one to take the round. There's only been a few that have been unorthodox in that regard, and NiP need to find it.
For sure, definitely. It's the hard part though. That's the hard part, getting that first pick. They almost got it on JW. That's gonna have a huge impact on JW's positioning probably, because he's not gonna be able to really push the way he would normally like to with 1 HP. Here is just holding that CTR side. It seems like NiP's play is gonna be coming on A.
Smoking through. Flashes as well. They try and come out. Get Right does find your first. That's big, but Flusha trades. At least Alu calls him back in the end, so we're into 3-on-3, and they've got the backside of the site. Make it more. Get Right's going to get JW. Big round from him. Those 2 kills are massive, and I said it's that first blood that seems to be indicative of who's going to take the round. We are in a 2-on-2 post plant. Now they can at least try and secure these positions, but Olaf, great shot back onto Get Right. And Forrest has to do work. He does. Crim's down, and it's all on Mr. Olaf Meister. 1-on-2. Time still expiring away on this bomb plant, and Alu gets it. They get it late. It took them a while, the elusive match point, but 16-13, NiP up 1 in this best of 5. And, of course, the winner straight through to DreamHack Bucharest.
Yeah, Get Right. Just a lot of key rounds for him. I think, for me personally, that he was the highlight player in this map. Just not sure how many frags he even had. Just the amount of impact frags he was giving NiP. And
none more so than that last round. I mean, that just highlights the rounds that he was getting for them. And like I said, on both sides, it was whoever got the first blood seemed to have the huge advantage that both teams utilized map control quite well. And so, like I say, that's map 1 done, but we go to Cobble next, and Fnatic on Cobble.
It's going to be a rough patch for NiP.
And so Forrest was actually our MVP of the match statistically. Again, we talked about Get Right's impact frags, but Forrest was supporting well this game. Of course, playing back over on A and held Pit extremely well. He's so good there. It was surprising when they pulled him over to B and Get Right over. It does give them a different look, a little more awareness of how the map plays for your teammates as well as your redundant role. But it's good to see them go back to Classic because on this map, they've got a system that worked so well for so long.
Yeah, like I said before, Forrest is one of the best players in the world in that position. And I guess I can understand their reasonings behind trying to change and switch things up because they've been playing in similar positions for 3 years almost. But when you have a player like Forrest in a position like that, you just want to utilize it. You don't want to switch it up.
And DDK made an excellent video that showed off how he plays that angle from the backside of the truck. But we'll take a short break. The longer I talk, the more my voice is going to be in pain. Thank you for everyone being patient with it. I do apologize. I was a little sick going into Copenhagen games, and that only contributed to the fact that I got weak early. So hopefully I can get some tea into me, and we'll be back for game 2.
They just got denied by that flash from Freiburg. Really just annihilated them.
He's changed his angle. That allows Fnatic to try and come around from the truck side, but already forced with one. Exist chimes in, and the SMG's just tearing the terrorists apart. Alu. But Exist and Freiburg coming from the truck side. Prodax and Olaf, though, even it back up. Prodax with 2, and he's going to get more than that. All 3 of them drop off onto the arch and wrap, or do they go immediately onto both sides, and they won't go anywhere because NiP is going to shut them down. Alu and Exist, great trades, and they're not done there. Exist going to switch to the USP. Easy kill Olaf down. Now, Olaf tries to come around, find a way into A. They've switched it back over, and it's Exist that's holding. He's got 1, he finds 2, both with the M4, but then gets dropped, but he at least brings his team back into this because now it's onto a 2-on-2. Make it a 2-on-1 as Freiburg. Excellent shot on Flusha.
Still do have one more Molotov. That could be fundamental here.
Olaf's going to catch out Exist. There's your first kill and the post plant. Olaf and make it 2, catches Forrest as well, and JW is going to catch Alu as he tries.